Rostering within Eden begins with a service user's profile. Within the personal details tile, you're able to select who the key worker for the service user is, as well as any additional support workers. You can also state whether a visit to the service user requires 2 staff members. Actions outline the tasks that need to be completed during visits, such as getting them dressed or making sure they take their medication. An action will contain details of what needs to be carried out to fulfill the action, as well as associations to outcomes that the action may relate to. The visits tile is where you would schedule the service user's visits that will be added to shifts later on in the process. At the top of the page, the current care plan is displayed so it can be used as a reference when adding in the visits. These visits can also be added directly from the care plan schedule by clicking the Apply Week button. To add a visit, double-click the area of the schedule that you want to add the visit for. A visit record will contain the name of the visit, start and end time, including the late and early tolerance for when the visit can start, the location details for that visit, and a list of actions that may need to be completed during the visit. A visit can be added as a standalone entry or as a recurring series. When adding as a series, you can either choose to add a daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly occurrence. Each option allows you to enter the frequency that the visit will occur, as well as when the series should end. Visits can also be amended by double-clicking on the visit, then choosing whether you want to edit the single occurrence or the whole series. In order for visits to be available for selection in shifts, they need to be made live. Any visits that have been added or amended since this was last pressed will be shown in orange. This feature allows for upcoming visit schedules to be finalised before they are released into the wider system. The Shift Scheduler is the first stage of creating a rota that is only available to service managers and admin users. Before shifts can be added, you need to refresh the visits that need to be scheduled. This will bring back all the visits that have been created for that week for all service users within the service, and populate the unassigned shifts area below the schedule. You can add shifts using the tool below the schedule. Enter a shift code and start and end time. Choose the days of the week that you want the shift to be created for, and finally you can choose a job role for the shift, add the maximum amount of break minutes that the shift is allowed, and toggle whether the shift is a sleep-in or not. When a shift has been added, it is ready to have visits added to it. In available shifts, clicking on the shift will show which visits are available to be added into the shift. You can click on each of these visits and view the information about the visit at the bottom, including the service user information, important information, and a list of actions that need to be completed. To add the visit, click on it and then click the plus on the right hand side. This will move it into the shift column. You can also add breaks to a shift using the Add Break tool below the available visits. It is possible to have visits and breaks that overlap. When trying to add an overlap, you'll be informed that there is a collision with an existing visit, and if you still wish to add it to the shift, you will not be prevented from doing this, however the overlapping items will be highlighted in yellow. There are other helpful tools on the Shift Scheduler that you can use to help create shifts. The Copy Previous Week allows you to take a copy of the shift schedule from the previous week and apply it to the current week selected. The Create Rolling Rota option allows you to create a shift template across multiple weeks that can be applied for upcoming weeks. This can either be 2, 4, or 6 weeks. Once the shifts have been scheduled, you can move on to the rota. On the left hand side, you will see the list of users who are assigned to the service, each containing 4 summary values. Contract shows the number of hours that the user is contracted to that service. Contract Allocated shows the total number of hours for shifts allocated as contracted shifts to the user for the week, including holiday hours. Additional Hours shows the total number of hours for shifts allocated as additional shifts to the user for the week. And finally, Sleep-ins shows the total number of hours for shifts marked as sleep-in that are allocated to the user for the week. There are 4 different types of event that are displayed. The first is shifts. When a shift is assigned to the rota, its name and start and end time are displayed. There is also a shift pin, which can be used by temporary workers when accessing the shift in the mobile app. Although it is possible for all users to view the rota page, only service managers and admins will be able to allocate shifts. The rota also displays shifts from other services. These will be shown in grey underneath the drop-down for that day. The next event is annual leave, shown in yellow, displaying the start and end time of the leave. Alternatively, if the user has stated they'll be on leave all day, this will be displayed instead. The next event is PTO, shown in purple. This works the same as annual leave in that either all day or the time of the PTO will be shown. The final event is sickness, shown in red. This will display in one of 2 ways. If the person has returned from sickness, the record will show the actual return date of the sickness. Alternatively, if they are still on sick leave, this will show the expected return to work date. The final piece of functionality on the rota is the ability to download a PDF copy of the rota for that week by clicking on Download Rota PDF in the left-hand corner. The PDF version of the rota will display the same information as the web version of the rota.